Greetings, upstanders. Dr. O here, and many people have put so much praise on Utah Governor Cox for the handling of the search of the killer of Charlie Kirk. And people have paid so much attention and praised his comments about the need for people to get off of social media, get outside, be in the grass, and so on and so forth. Look, I don't have a problem with that about the need to get off of social media and the need to engage people more. But people aren't really giving him the full analysis that he deserves. Number one, he said that it appears that Robinson was engaged in extreme leftist ideology. Where's the proof of that? Where's the evidence of that? At best, what the governor should be saying, if he's supposed to be a unified force, is say we don't really know about his ideology. Having said that, if he was going to paint an honest picture, we can talk about the fact that he appears to be, and he says, we can say appears to be, hasn't fully been confirmed. He can say all of that stuff, engulfed in or embracing Groyper ideology, which is what followers of the racist, extremist, anti-Semite Nick Fuentes is all about. He can talk about it following Laura Loomer, even though anybody can follow Laura Loomer just if they want to get news. He can talk about that. He can talk about his family's love of guns and being part of a strong Republican family and household where they love toting guns. And again, he doesn't have to say that makes him MAGA, but nothing that we've seen so far makes him someone who's involved in extreme leftist ideology, because there are, his bullet casing said, hey, fascists, catch this, and all of that. There's a lot of Republicans and a lot of conservatives who don't like fascists as well, which is why they're forming organizations to stop Trump, like I've mentioned in another video, like the Lincoln Project, like the Bulwark. People or people out there who talk about states' rights and don't tread on me and all of that. That's not just a democratic value. So that was very irresponsible, unless Cox has something that we just don't know. But the second part of what he said, which has not received any coverage or a lot of coverage in the places that I've looked at, is when he talks about how he prayed for. You can see in the link below. He said he prayed for 33 hours. He says for 33 hours I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. Who is us? Who is us? I mean, come on, let's be real. This is like a MAGA talking point. These are trigger words. He wanted to blame it on an immigrant, or he wanted to blame it on somebody coming from out of state, somebody black maybe, somebody Latino, somebody like that. He wanted that's out of state, not from here. And if it was from out of state, he would hope it would be, if it was a white person, that it would be some type of lefty, quote unquote, lefty extremist. That's what he wanted. How do you pray for that as a governor for more than a day? Utah's majority white. Charlie Kirk was white. The killer was white. The majority, the university, all white. And rather than give him praise for saying we should go out there and play in the grass, this should be condemned as racist and xenophobic and ignorant and hateful. Because he's sitting there wanting to show, and even in his other comments, he was like, you see, we had this happen here. We had vigils. We didn't riot. Like, he had these little subtle jabs at blue states and whoever else, and non-MAGA people, it seems like. And the media should be honest about this. This is extremely problematic, because we already saw what happened before it was the killer was to be revealed. We already saw that in the hours that that Charlie Kirk was killed on September 10th to the time that the killer was revealed on September 12th, they already had all of their narratives formed. They already had their left-leaning lunatics, Trump, we got to beat the crap out of them and all of that. And Governor Cox wanted something to help further that narrative. That's not leadership. That's propaganda. And he wanted to have something that he can use to trigger more followers to go get out there and execute more violence and vengeance and retaliation against his killers. And I'll get to Cash Patel and see you in Valhalla another day, because all of this, all of this was about MAGA folks from top to bottom trying to figure out a way to either excuse themselves, point blame at somebody else, or make it seem like they were doing their job just top notch and that everything was fine, and it was not. And enough media outlets have not talked about this. And we know, I mean, there were white people in California, I believe, out in Huntington Beach talking about, white men are not going anywhere. I don't know what the chant was, but it's like that was when people didn't know who the killer was, because it was assumed that it was somebody else, maybe a Muslim, like maybe something like that. There are white Muslims, by the way, but maybe there are people just looking for that. And Governor Cox was all too willing to egg it on. And I guess our prayers are answered too in the fact that it wasn't, but we shouldn't be praying that this be a particular person. We should be praying that these things don't happen. We should be praying that, there's not all of this gun violence and all of this killing that's going on and all of this political violence. That's what we should be praying for. You shouldn't be praying for, well, if it is going to happen, please make it be one of those people. That's sad and disgusting. And it needs to be called out more. What do y'all think about it? If you like this, please like it and share it. Subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get up there towards our 25,000 viewers. I appreciate all of your comments, pushback, positive. It's not positive or negative. It's just feedback. We're just trying to grow this thing. But this is something that should be called out, and I'm hoping that you will do the same. Read the links below. Check out what was said, and let me know what you think. Peace.